What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here and welcome to another TCG online match. This time around I'm gonna check out Pyroar since I never played with the deck and it actually has a ton of hype. So first of all, let's check out the deck list first. So I'm running a Pyroar Seismitoad deck, so we do run DCEs in our deck, so why not run Seismitoad? It's an ideal starter, and then with item lock we can just prevent our opponent from building up while we build up some Pyroars on the bench. So I run 2 Seismitoad, then a 4/4 line of Pyroar, of course, since that's our main Pokemon. And as you see, I run a 2 Litleos from 70 HP and 2 from 60 HP. The reason for that is actually that I don't have more 70 HP Litleos. So usually 70 HP Litleo is way better because you want to have like more HP, since Hammerhead from Virizion EX is around, and that way he has to like 3-shot you on the bench. So we also run 1 Mewtwo EX, why not run it? We run DCE, so with Mewtwo Wars out there we can get our last 2 prizes maybe with that. Then we have 1 Jirachi EX. It's quite simple because we want to have our Pyroars out as quickly as possible, and if we don't have any supporters we use Jirachi, getting them out like that. So then for the energies we run 8 basic fire energies and then 4 DCEs. And then to the trainers we run search supporters like Ultra Ball, 3 of those, and 2 Eeveelutions to evolve our Litleos to the Pyroars. And starting megaphone is I actually run 2 copies in this deck just because if Garbodor's out our strategy falls apart, and that way we can just use 2 starting megaphones. With that we can use it, and then Garbodor's ability actually gets neglected like that. So we run 3 Hypnotoxic Lasers, 1 Energy Retrieval, the Ace Pack card here is Computer Search, then 2 Switches, 1 Fiery Charge, getting some more consistency like that, 4 N, 1 Colorless. Then actually I do run 1 Pokemon Center Lady because usually they want to use Hypnotoxic Lasers on our Pyroars, and that's the only thing they can do because we block EXs. So with 1 Professor's Lady and out there with Computer Search we can actually fix that problem. So we also have 2 Blacksmith, really building up our Pyroars like that, really simple. Then we have 2 Lysander, 3 Skyla, 2 Pokemon Fan Club, really great in the beginning of the game, then 3 Juniper, and then 1 Floatstone and 2 Muscle Band. So let's see if the deck actually works, and we're just gonna click on play now. So there we go, and we see it's looking for an opponent once again. We'll see what opponent we're facing on the other side of the world. So we are facing K-D-A-R-E, so Kadare or something like that. So it's a grass deck, and we however have the fire deck. So we'll see how it goes. Looks like my opponent can start the game, and I don't have a basic Pokemon to start off with, so that is not great. Again, no basic Pokemon. Hopefully I don't start with the Jirachi, that will be terrible. So again, a mulligan, so 3 times already. And there we have our Seismitoad start from the bat. My opponent can however draw 3 extra cards because of the mulligans, and let's see, my opponent is playing an Eeveelution deck. This is not really great. He also runs the Pokemon Fan Club, getting out some more Eevees probably, and maybe Deoxys, so it's a grass deck. Wow, with Virizion in there. So my Seismitoad is not safe at all. If he actually, only he evolves to Vaporeon. Actually no, he evolves to Glaceon. So with the Muscle Band, he'll actually deal a ton of damage. We actually, however, have to do something really fast. We are just gonna attach the Muscle Band to the Seismitoad, a Fire Energy to Seismitoad as well, and then you just use the N because we don't have anything. Hopefully we can get out something. Again, nothing. So Pyroar is still far away, but we're just ending our turn like this. So as I mentioned, Pyroar is really great against EXs, but against non-EXs it's really terrible. So let's see how it fares. Also, the Glaceon knocks out our Pyroars with the second attack, dealing 60 damage plus 30 more if it actually if it hit. Yeah, that way you can knock it out. 1 shot even without without the hits, he actually knocks us out. So the thing we can do now is actually have the Hypnotoxic Laser up. There we go. We could have actually used Lysander as well, but I don't think that was a great idea. We could have actually captured out that Eevee and knocked it out like that. But we're just gonna stay at that since Colress will give us more cards. So let's use Colress and see what we can get out. There we go, not anything that great. We can use the Starling Megaphone in this situation, so why not use it? We get rid of that, and then we use Quaking Punch for 50 damage with the poison damage, and he is asleep. So we don't have any supporter, which is terrible, and our Seismitoad can be knocked out by the Virizion later on. So wow, he used a Pokemon Center Lady, healing up the Pokemon, his Glaceon. So he will still be able to attack, dealing 30 damage. And it's back to ours. We have the computer search, which is awesome. We can, let's see what we can do. We can use computer search, discarding those cards. And actually, we want to get out something great. We can get out Jirachi, maybe, getting a supporter like that, but then we are wide open for something else. We can go for Fan Club, getting out a Mewtwo and a Litleo, but then we don't have any supporters, so we're gonna go for Juniper. I know it's terrible discarding the DCE, but looks like he doesn't run Mewtwo, but still we're just gonna discard the DCE, and we have a Litleo. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Then we're gonna give a Fire Energy to the Litleo, bench another Seismitoad like that, giving it a Float Stone, so our backup item luck is still on. So this time around we're dealing again 50 damage. Our Seismitoad still is not doing that great. So next turn we have our Pyroar, which is great. So he retreats, and actually he's gonna knock me out with the Virizion, which was to be expected, of course. And he actually heals up a Pokemon as well. So we are actually getting knocked out by this Virizion. And he gets 2 energies to his Glaceon. So the bad thing though is, I promote the Float Stone here. The bad thing is though is that he runs Glaceon, which is not great. The thing we are gonna do is go to Pyroar. And then actually this card can attach 2 Fire Energies from our discard to one of our Fire Pokemon. And then actually we can knock out this, with that we can knock out the Virizion EX. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna retreat. And then the Pyroar comes in, dealing, actually, what we can do, you may discard a Fire Energy, so that was the plan, dealing 180 damage, knocking out the Virizion. So we get 2 prizes. So we are even. Looks like he is actually going to promote the Glaceon here. Glaceon will one-shot me, which is terrible. So he also has the Shaman EX, which can actually knock out my Seismitoad in one shot if he actually, yeah, just now. He deals 30 damage plus 30 more for each prize card, which is already 90, so we're gonna have to be afraid of that little guy. So Professor's Letter coming out here, Grass Energy and Water Energy. Also these Tropiuses are causing some trouble for my Seismitoad, but we do however have the Pyroar. And he deals 120 damage, which was to be expected. Alright, we are back to our Seismitoad. We're gonna use a Pokemon Fan Club here. Getting out Litleo and Mewtwo. We can get out 2 Litleos, but he doesn't run any EXs, so that's not a great plan. We're gonna go for Mewtwo, Litleo, Muscle Band. There we go, energy to Mewtwo. So our Mewtwo will have to sweep the field for now, and we are gonna just stick it at that and end our turn. So let's see what else my opponent can do in this situation. He already took 3 prize cards, which is not that great. This looks like a really weird game actually. His evolution plan is actually becoming really great. So with that, he knocks out my Seismitoad in one shot. So the Shaman EX puts in some work. Wow. Let's see what we can get. And we have an N, which is great. We're gonna use the N and our opponent to 1 card. We can get more cards. We can get out the Pyroar here, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna use the Hypnotoxic Laser. And it works. We can actually get out Pyroar this situation, but I'm not sure. I'm actually gonna wait and then use the Ultra Ball for the Pyroar later on. That's actually the only thing we can do at the moment. Actually, we can use Ultra Ball for... we can't use any supporters anymore since we end the previous turn, so we're gonna end it at that. And my opponent is asleep, so he has end to 1 card and isn't able to attack anymore because he is asleep. Oh no, he uses the Team Flare Grunt, gets rid of our Fire Energy and still is asleep. Receives some poison damage as well. We can use a switch here in this situation. because we are actually gonna promote. Was that the smart decision or not? Who knows? We're gonna bench another Litleo and then end our opponent again. 4 cards, we get the Pyroar. We get the DCE as well. Is this great? We can use a DCE on Mewtwo and actually make sure that we can retreat later on to attack with Mewtwo, because the Pyroar will be one-shotted by the Glaceon. So we're gonna stall with the Pyroar for now, I believe. Or we're just gonna attach the DCE and build up our Mewtwo later. We do, however, have the supporter that can build up our Pyroar, so we're gonna end it at that. My opponent is still asleep. If he wasn't asleep, that Glaceon could have put in some work. Although he doesn't, he only has 2 energy, so we're safe at that. Maybe we can Lysander without that stupid Glaceon. We do need Switch, however. What do we have? Let's see. He uses Pokemon Fan Club, getting out some Pokemon. We want Floatstone, Switch, and 2 Switches already. So we need the Floatstone. Actually, what else do we have? And he is still asleep. Wow, that Shaman is sleeping like crazy. We can use Ultra Ball here, but we're just gonna Juniper everything away and see what we can get. We have another Hypnotoxic Laser, get out another Pyro, could be decent. Next turn we have Lysander, which is great. We also have the N. Actually, we can get rid of 1 Skyla and 1 Ultra Ball. And then we can get out another Pyroar. So the only thing we need to do here is knock out the Glaceon and we're set. That'll be it. The Shaman is still asleep. Oh my god. If he wasn't asleep, he could have retreated and actually attacked with the Glaceon. Oh, he wakes up. So the Shaman is awake. We have to Lysander out something really quickly, because oh wow, Tropius only has 1 retreat cost. Does he have an energy? That's the question. If he has an energy, he can actually knock out my Pyroar. But we're gonna end him to 1 card. That's the thing we can do here. And put him back to... Let's see if he's asleep first. Yes, he is asleep, so we can actually end my opponent once again. We still have the Lysander. We do need energies, however, to retreat. And we have the DCE to retreat, which is amazing. We are gonna retreat and go to the Mewtwo. There we go. 2040, and the Mewtwo will give us 2 prizes, which is great. There we go. So, this is actually quite a tough game. We actually only 2 prizes away from winning. The Pyro actually didn't do anything in this situation. He only stalled. That's the only thing he did. So my opponent is End, and that's the reason he actually doesn't do anything anymore. We can build up Pyroar here, maybe, or Lysander out. Let's just Lysander out our biggest threat in the game, which is Glaceon. Glaceon has 90 HP, so we deal 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 100 damage is actually enough to knock out this Glaceon. And we're gonna build up a Pyroar here, why not? There we go, X-Ball away, 100 damage. There we go. And we also get the Starlight Megaphone. So my opponent is in a really tough situation. He should have he can build up his Shaman and then knock me out, because with the Revenge attack, actually, the Revenge Blast, he can knock me out in 1 shot, but I end him at the right time in combination with the good success of Hypnotoxic Laser, and my opponent concedes. So that was a really close game. We didn't show the power of Pyroar, he didn't attack, but he stalled for us, which is already great against the Shaman, because Shaman couldn't attack our Pyroar. The thing we got from the mystery wheel, however, is a booster pack, and as nice as I am, I'm gonna open it up for the guys, for my true subscribers out there that are watching this content. You will see what I get this time around. A pack, and we open it up, and we have a sweet looking Ninetales. Maybe we can test it out, who knows, and actually a Trubbish, a reverse one, so that's great. Also, this one is really great. The Stunfisk, dealing like the same like Landorus, but then a bit weaker, 2020. And actually that's it for this battle video, so I hope you enjoyed it. I think it was a really exciting game for me. I thought I was gonna lose, but with some luck, you see, things turned around. We actually have to test out some more decks actually. The Pyroar has to be tested out once more, and actually I want to have the better version of the Seismitoad deck since Regionals is coming up, and tomorrow there's another episode, so make sure you check that out. And thanks again for watching our TCG online match, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace!